What's up, guys? Piedmonte89 here, doing a long-awaited and anticipated video on a video that I did promise you for a long time now. That is the showdown between two gun manufacturers for the common man. Those that are interested in 38 special revolvers, particularly the snub nose variety. On the right, we have the American-made Charter Arms. On the left, we have the Brazilian-made Rossi R351. So, let's get this comparison underway. Let's start with the Charter Arms Undercover 38 Special. Gun is unloaded. 5 shots. One thing I like about this gun is that it has a transfer bar safety with a copper-plated firing pin. That copper-plated firing pin means that you would actually safely dry fire this gun. Here's the sight picture of the Charter Arms. Okay, there it is. Zoom it in for you. There it is. Let's quickly take a look at the Rossi R351's hammer and sight. The Rossi's hammer has the firing pin on it, exposed. It's an older style. It's what the older Smith & Wessons and Colts used to have. This is the sight picture on it. As you can see, it does actually have the better sight picture. It's tighter. For the range, and only for the range, this is good because you will have a lot of time to make long distance shots, and you'll be able to get them more accurate on the target, in my opinion. But my dad does shoot the Charter more accurately, and for some reason, I actually shoot double action more accurately than single action. Don't know why that is. Can never figure it out. Another thing that the Rossi has on the hammer is a trigger lock. Or, I'm sorry, a hammer lock. A keyhole lock. I'd get it right eventually. You take a key, you twist it, it locks up. You can't cock the hammer back farther than this. That prevents a child or someone who doesn't know anything about guns from getting a hold of it and accidentally killing somebody else or themselves, or maiming somebody else or themselves. Some people like that. I don't. I think that it actually hurts reliability of a firearm that's supposed to be 100% reliable. To me, a revolver, you sacrifice capacity a lot to a semi-automatic. And so, if you're going to sacrifice capacity, you better get that reliability in return. And while this is probably still more reliable than most semi-automatics on the market, I have no doubt about that, it doesn't help to have that there. It's one more thing that can go wrong with the gun. It's one thing I never liked about the Rossi's and new Smith & Wessons and the Taurus. If you look here on the Charter Arms, the only safety it has is my finger not being on the trigger. And besides the transfer bar safety. And that's really all you need in a revolver. That's what you should. That's what a revolver should be. So, both, like I said, are 38 Special Plus P rated, and both are 5 shots. One thing that's nice about both of them is that they both have these grips for 3 fingers, although they are slightly different, as you can see. The one thing I like about the Charter Arms is on the grip. Got some stuff there. Oh well. On the grip, it's circular, and that's a good thing because when I'm going to shoot that gun, back it up here a little bit. When I'm going to shoot this gun, the way it recoils when it kicks up a little bit, because 38s do kick in these 2-inch barrels, I really don't feel it as much. You know, it's easy to handle. These grips are thinner, so you would think that you might feel the recoil more than this Rossi's, which are a lot thicker. This is a 16-ounce gun. This is a 24-ounce gun. So you would think that this would kick a lot less, or feel a lot less recoil in it. Not the case. This, for whatever reason, recoils in the hand a lot less, in my opinion. The felt recoil is not there. Excuse me. And that could be because down here, this is not steel. Whereas with the Rossi, it is all steel. It's a 100% steel frame. Which leads to the fact that this is a 24-ounce gun versus a 16-ounce gun. For concealed carry, you might want that lighter gun. In fact, I would recommend it. Because a lot of times in the summer, this is still too heavy. I have to open carry it if I'm going to carry it. And that can be a problem sometimes. Especially since with revolvers, when you're open carrying, not only are you announcing that you have a gun on you to everybody, you're announcing that you have 5 or 6 shots ready. Which to some people might not be that big of a deterrent if they already have a concealed illegal semi-automatic or something. The one good thing about a revolver, though, is that while it's not only more reliable, you pull it out, if somebody gets real close to the gun, or is like on the gun, they can't push it out of battery. You pull that trigger, it's going to go bang. And man, oh man, will 38 Special hollow point mess up your day. It really will. A lot of people think that it's a weaker cartridge because it only produces about 250 foot-pounds of energy from the muzzle. That only tells so much of the story. Because these guns can propel anything from 110 grain hollow point to 158 grain hollow point. It will mess up your day. It will stop a fight. To think otherwise, you are foolish. The FBI, the CIA, and the police have been using 38 Specials for years before they tapped into the 9mm and 40 calibers they use today. And the track record on a 38 Special is very good. Not to mention that in today's world, the 38 Special has been modified and upgraded with the plus P rounds, the bonded bullets. But back on to the subject here. I don't want to get too distracted. One thing I want to give to the Rossi is the Rossi is a very nice, high polished bluing, and their stainless is high polished looking as well. I like that. I mean, a lot of people might not like that because, as you can see fingerprints on it, but I still like it anyway. I think it's the classic look. I like shiny. Shiny is cool. This is more of a satin finish. And their blued is a satin bluing like the Bursa guns, which I don't think is particularly attractive. I think that the Rossi is a more attractive looking gun. But you do have a lighter gun, and it's a concealed carry gun, so who really cares, because it's going to get scratched up and stuff anyway. You didn't spend that much on the guns. But, you know, I guess this is a nice little... It does look nicer. It's more attractive. If you looked at them... If I just looked at them like this, side by side, I probably would pick this every time. Because I like that high-polished finish. But looks don't tell the whole story, as we all know. They both have a lifetime warranty. But this is a heavier gun. It's got a wider profile on the handle. And this has less felt recoil. And out of the two, this is no more than an 8-pound trigger pull at most. 7 to 8 pounds. Literally. I mean, I put a cartridge in. Spent cartridge, by the way. I put one in. It's really nice. It's really smooth. It's really crisp. Single action mode. Same deal. Smooth and crisp. Almost, I mean, there is a little minuscule speck of creep. I mean, really minuscule speck of creep. If you don't have much feeling in your hands for whatever reason, you won't even feel the creep at all. It's almost non-existent. Let's try the Rossi. Let me load her up real quick with a spent casing again. That's like an 11-pound trigger pull. That's a little bit heavier. I'm used to that. It's good for self-defense because it takes competence to pull that trigger in self-defense, so that you don't have a hair trigger or nothing. You don't really get that with a double action revolver anyway, but I think that it can be a good thing. It can also be a bad thing. It can mean that your accuracy will suffer. That is not the case for me. I really actually shoot better with both guns with double action versus single action. In fact, if I ever get another snub nose revolver, I might get one. I'd like to get one of the Tauruses with the 2.5-inch barrel and hammerless, because a lot of people do complain about the Braztech trigger pull, but it doesn't bother me one bit. I think it's because I played video games all my life, so my fingers get a lot of exercise all the time. Now, aside from that, there's really not much else to compare. The one thing I will say about the Rossi is that with this hammer, that firing pin can break on you. Okay, you gotta be really careful. You always need to dry. You cannot dry fire this gun. At least I would not recommend you do so. What you want to do is you want to shoot it with snap caps, or fire with snap caps, or at least at the very minimum spent casings. Do not dry fire the gun, because it will break. Might not break the first time, might not break the 10th or 12th time, but you're weakening that. Okay? It can break on you. I don't want to risk it, so I always use real cartridges at the range and snap caps at home. So, but there you are. Now down to the conclusion, my conclusion on the two guns, which is better. Most people will say, well, they're comparable. There is no winner. But you know what? I will not make that cop out. I will give you the honest truth. Between the Charter Arms and the Braztech revolvers, at least this Rossi, the Charter Arms wins. It's not as flashy looking. It might have a plastic trigger guard, but that stronger firing pin and no keyhole safety make a huge difference to me in a self-defense situation. Everything else on these two guns really, to me, almost means absolutely nothing in self-defense. The grips with either one don't make a lick of difference in a close combat situation where the guy's going to be up on your ass. I want something that I can just pull out, whip out, feel like it'll go bang every time, and maybe, just maybe, that firing pin may break in a self-defense situation. Is it likely? Absolutely not. Because they are good guns and they have good quality, but that can happen for whatever reason. This, not so much. This has the strongest firing pin of any revolver on the market today. No one knows that. Charter Arms has the strongest firing pin on the market, which is a good thing. So, and it also is made in my country of origin. So, in the end, the trigger pull, the stronger firing pin, the recoil, the lightweight beats the flash of this gun, because that's all the difference is to me. It's just a little bit of flash and a superior trigger guard, which means jack squat in the long run. So there you are. Your winner is the Charter Arms Undercover. I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're looking at either one of these guns, I will tell you they're both great guns. If you still want that flashy looking gun, I would probably recommend you go to the Taurus Model 85, so you do not have that hammer with the firing pin there. Does this mean I won't buy any more Rossi? Absolutely not. I do look at investing in the 38 special version, or the full-size 38 special version of this gun, be it for practice or otherwise. I think it would be a nice gun to add to the collection. Braztech does make good guns, despite what you might hear on the internet. I do plan on getting the 44 Magnum Tracker as well, and the maybe 65 or 66 38 special, or 357 rather. So, but I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. One last look at both of them before we go. And I hope you enjoyed. Piedmonte 89 out. Remember, anti-gun is anti-American.